Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling, presenting to you the AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 for July 14th, 2021 review. This was a decent show. Actually, I'm being a little, kind of shitting on this show a little bit by saying the word decent. That's an understatement. This was a freaking good show. Really good show. Practically almost like a fucking pay-per-view. But yeah, Darby Allin wins the main event in the coffin match with a coffin drop after he won the match. Why the hell he did that? I have no idea outside of making a spectacular ending to the episode and creating a little bit more buzz for himself by the fans of getting all excited over what he had to do. But at this time, folks, I'm going to take a short break with this commercial, and I'll be right back after this commercial break. Do you feel down? Does WWE make you feel bad? Does WWE make you feel like your intelligence is becoming less and less every single week when you watch Monday Night Raw? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got a solution to your problem. Come join me at World of Wrestling every Monday night. I'm going to be doing this. That's right, folks. WWE Monday Night Raw, back when it was called the WWF, World Wrestling Federation. Every single week here on the channel, Monday night, we will be discussing retro reviews of Monday Night Raw is War. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be exciting, folks. Hope you enjoy the reviews, because they will keep on coming. Guess what? You want to go ahead and you want to lose that frown and turn it upside down? Well, go ahead and tune in on Peacock. I'm going to be starting on the very first episode. The first episode I'm going to be doing here on the channel will be WWF Raw is War, October 6, 1997, the episode immediately following Bad Blood from 97 in your house. Keep an eye out for it. If you'd like to follow along with the episodes, by all means go ahead. I will be uploading these episodes every single week, and then once we get to SmackDown, I will start going ahead and uploading SmackDown as well. So keep an eye out for everything WWF related on Monday nights, because modern day WWE Monday Night Raw just doesn't cut it. That's right, folks. WWF Raw is War is back on this channel anyway. Going back and reliving the old school days of professional wrestling when wrestling was good on WWE. So if you guys are interested in that, that's what I'm going to be starting next Monday. I'm done with Impact Wrestling. I'm going to keep up with everything that is Impact Wrestling so that I understand what's going on leading towards the pay-per-views. I will give you guys reviews on the pay-per-views themselves, but the shows are just not all exciting. I've gone back, I've listened to my reviews. I just do not sound excited, enthusiastic about it, and it just sounds plain and boring. So I'm going to go ahead and deliver you guys a better replacement for Monday nights, and give you guys a full-fledged review with a little bit more excitement and enthusiasm coming out of me in these reviews. So, let's get started with AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 for July 14th, 2021. The main event, of course, was Ethan Page versus Darby Allin for a coffin match. It wasn't even for a championship. I was about to say that. I don't know why the hell I was going to say it, but I almost did. Anyway, anywho, let's get on with the show, shall we? Like I said before earlier in the introduction to this review, I have to admit this was a really good show. This was a fucking excellent show. There was only one match on this card, two matches on this card that I didn't particularly care for. One was with Penelope Ford in a matchup against a Japanese female wrestler, and Matt Hardy and Christian Cage just didn't cut the mustard for me. The fans were kind of interested in it somewhat, half and half, but they didn't cut the mustard for me at all. I just didn't really feel that they were delivering like they did back in the day. And, it's understandable. They're older guys. They're not going to work as good as what they did back in the day when they were younger. So, I mean, no harm, no foul. It wasn't a terrible match, but it wasn't a match I was fully into. Like I said, this match belonged on a Dynamite episode, which is what they did. They did the smart thing here. They didn't take away to the younger talent that could be on the card for All Out or anything like that. So I'm thankful that I hope they end that and don't continue moving forward with those two guys competing over the bullshit with future storylines and shit like that. But let's get right into the very first match, shall we? The very first match was the IWGP United States Championship match between Jon Moxley and Carl Anderson. Jon Moxley being the champion going in. And I gotta say, guys, this was actually a really good opener to the show. Carl Anderson delivered very well on his end. Jon Moxley, as usual, as always, does what he needs to do to get the match over, and he does a great job here. I actually really enjoyed this match. They were using the New Japan Wrestling rules, by the way, which was actually interesting. There was 20-second countouts instead of 10, like normal. They also had a 60-minute time limit instead of a 20-minute time limit. There were some good things in this matchup overall. The action itself was great. I enjoyed the hard hitting that both of these guys delivered in this matchup. Carl Anderson didn't look like a chump going in this match. He actually looked like he was possibly going to win the title. And unfortunately, though, he did not. And that's fine with me, because Jon Moxley is awesome. I mean, I love Jon Moxley, and great return for him, by the way, after what the Elite did to him with the Young Bucks, kneeing him in the head multiple times and putting him out of action for a little while. Eddie Kingston was actually involved in this matchup, too. He helped get rid of Doc Gallows so that he wouldn't interfere in the middle of the match. So it was more of a one-on-one matchup. Jon Moxley wins with the paradigm shift, and that is the end of the match. Andrade El Idolo. Someday I'm going to get the fucking pronunciation of the last name correctly, but until then, I'm just going to call him Andrade. But also another thing before that, Lance Archer challenged Jon Moxley to a death match at Night 2 Fyter Fest for next week's episode for the IWGP US Championship. He wants to regain the title he lost in the death match at Tokyo Dome. So now he wants to challenge him for the in the same exact match in Texas, which later on Jon Moxley approves the idea and he accepts his challenge, and that's that. Andrade had a segment where he called out the Death Triangle, being Pentagon Jr., Rey Fenix, and Pac, the Bastard, and he wants to apparently challenge all three of them in singles competition or some shit. I don't know. But I got to admit, I'm not really liking Andrade right now. I think his in-ring work last week was good, but his not commentary, but his promo work, he definitely needs a fucking an actual manager, like a Paul Heyman type of guy. A guy that can really talk well on the microphone. The guy that they got him with, Alex Abrantes, he's not exactly doing the job very well, in my personal opinion. I don't like the subtitles either. I mean, yeah, it does help you understand what he's saying, whether he's speaking Spanish or his accent is so thick you can't really understand his English. But let's get real, guys. This is America. We don't need to see subtitles. We need to hear from people that can speak the language of English. Not to be offensive or anything, but that's the way things are. When you watch a New Japan Wrestling pay-per-view or something like that, they don't speak English. They speak their language. And if you don't understand what they're saying, well, then that's tough luck for you. That's the same thing here. It should apply here in America with American wrestling-based promotions. Now, I'm not saying discredit Andrade in any way, shape, or form. I don't think you should do that at all. That's totally disrespectful, especially with the type of talent that he is. But they need to get him with a manager who can actually speak very well English-wise and can cut a very good promo to really hype up Andrade like Paul Heyman does with a Brock Lesnar or a Roman Reigns when he does hype up Roman Reigns, that is. Not that Roman Reigns needs Paul Heyman's help with that, because Roman Reigns, since he's turned heel, has done a terrific job on the mic. I don't know why he became great on the mic as a heel, but as a face, he was a fucking dork or a loser, I guess you could say. But whatever. So, next match was the FTW Championship match. Now, granted, the FTW Championship title is a fucking waste of, space. It's not all that of an important title. But my God, Ricky Starks and Brian Cage delivered. Fuck the title. I didn't need to see the damn title be on the line. But I guess the title is more of a symbol of Team Taz's turn on Brian Cage at this point. Because at one point they were trying to stop Ricky Starks from actually cheating with the FTW Championship. And then later on, Will Hobbs hits Brian Cage over the skull. And Ricky Starks hit him with a spear and a 1-2-3, and that's how he pulls off the victory over Brian Cage. Taz is celebrating with the rest of the team. He's super excited and he's happy that Ricky Starks won this match and won the title from Brian Cage at this point. So, where does that leave Brian Cage? Apparently, I would imagine this is leaving Brian Cage out in the colds, number one. Number two, that makes him turn face instead of being heel anymore. And truthfully, that's really where he belongs at this point, because all of his matches he was trying to win clean, and anytime any of his comrades tried to cheat and help him out, he refused to get the help. So that to me is a face-like role that he's taking on at this point and is no longer part of the Team Taz. So we move on from that. It was a good match. I mean, really good match, despite the fact the title's a piece of shit. I know, and it shouldn't really matter to anybody. So, next thing after that was Cody calls out Malachi Black. I don't know why the hell all of a sudden I'm having a problem pronouncing the name, but Malachi Black is called out by Cody Rhodes. Folks, anyone that hates Cody Rhodes, and actually there was a few fans there booing him, was not too surprised by it, but I really think this storyline is going to help Cody and Malachi Black at the end of all of this. One, we're going to get a Cody Rhodes heel turn. I think we're going to finally... Malachi Black, to me, is kind of going to play the role of, like, the Fiend type role that Bray Wyatt did in WWE, only not in a cheesy way, in any way, shape, or form. He's not going to have hocus-pocus bullshit, but he's going to be kind of a guy that plays in the mind of a person, and eventually it's going to lead to Cody losing it, not being cool with it, and not being a nice guy anymore, not caring for the fans, because Malachi even said it. He said, these fans don't care about me, they don't care about you, they just want to see us kill each other. And his attitude was, I'm all for it, I don't care, I'd rather kick your ass. He didn't give a fuck about the fans, he's playing the heel role, he don't give a shit. And Cody goes, I don't have a problem with you wanting to go after the top dog, which is me. I'm one of the top people in this company. But when you go after a 62-year-old man who doesn't even wrestle anymore, and you crack him upside the skull with your fucking foot with a roundhouse kick, I got a big problem with that. It's kind of what he said. Just paraphrasing. I loved it. And this eventually led to, he said, Cody said, you know, you can talk all the shit you want and blah, 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 but why don't you go ahead and come down here and take a better look at what you're seeing in my eyes? And the lights go out. He says, Black says he hopes that Cody would say that. So the lights go out, and then he pops back into the ring, and they're both brawling in the middle of the ring. And you got referees and fucking staff coming out trying to break this whole brawl up and everything else. The fans are booing it. This match belongs on fucking All Out. This needs to be built up all the way till we get to All Out in September. We need to see this match take place on pay-per-view. This is a definite matchup that I would even buy for that match alone. This whole build is awesome. I said it last week, I'll say it again. That was the best decision they could have done with Black. It was a smart move. You're having him attack the lead dog, the guy, the vice president of fucking AEW wrestling, and saying, I'm leaving my mark on your ass. That's all this is. He's going to beat and conquer Cody Rhodes, and eventually Cody Rhodes is going to disappear for a while, probably be with his wife. This is going to lead to Cody just getting off television for a while, being with his wife, and coming back and doing a heel turn. That's all this is going to be about. People aren't going to think about or talk about Cody for the few months that they get, you know, he takes off. He could work behind, in Gorilla and do creative stuff behind the scenes and shit like that, and spend time with his wife and his newborn child and do shit like that for right now. Give the people a break with him being in the spotlight, and then come back being a fucking total dick. That's what I would do. It's that simple. Nothing hard, nothing unique, nothing special. It's that easy. Alright, next was Santana and Ortiz delivering a message to Tully Blanchard. So, basically what happens here is Santana and Ortiz bump into Tully Blanchard backstage, and they try to attack Blanchard. And they act like they're going to hit him in the head with some crowbar type of material that they had in their hand. And then he stopped and he says, "No, I'm not going to hit an elderly man. It's not how we respect our elders. What are you kidding?" He says, "We just want your damn boys. We want to kick their ass. That's all. We don't want to hurt you. You're just a guy that's trying to do whatever. You're shit to us, really." He said, though, if you try to get in our way, next time we're going to fucking waste your ass. That's basically what they had to say to him. That was not much of a segment at all, but it's to get the ball rolling, I guess you could say, between FTR and Santana and Ortiz. So next up was the Cowboy, Adam Hangman Page. Oh boy, this was a fucking amazing promo between the Elite and the Dark Order with Hangman Page. I loved it. There was a lot of drama. Kenny Omega was playing a terrific heel-like prick, and he was going ahead and he said, "You know what? Not so fast. You're not getting a world championship match now. You want a match with me, that's one thing, but you're not getting my world title yet. You got to do something for it." So he goes ahead and he says, "How about we take 5 of my guys, myself and the rest of the Elite, against you and 4 of your guys from the Dark Order, and we do elimination." So basically a Survivor Series matchup is what they're doing here. Then Adam Hangman Page said, okay, you want us to go ahead and compete against you guys in a 5-on-5 elimination matchup. All right, so here's the deal. If we win, then the Dark Order gets a tag team title shot against your Young Bucks, and that also takes place as well. I thought that was a really cool stipulation to throw in there. Thing is, I do have a little bit of a problem with it. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno have not been doing anything in tag team wrestling, number one. Number two, they haven't won anything as a tag team. So, that's my only beef or problem with that. I think that kind of sucks that they didn't have any wins racked up under their name, leading to this announcement of this match at some point. But nonetheless, it's okay. I mean, they're not going to win the tag team titles. Not right now with no momentum. Come on. That's fucking stupid. But, so Kenny Omega said, all right, fine. You know what? I'll give you that. But here's the thing. We're not getting nothing back in return. So here's the situation. You want to go ahead and you want to throw it all on the line. You want to show that you're the absolute best. Why don't you, if your team loses, your team don't get a tag team title match against the Young Bucks, and you lose your opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship? You want to throw it all on the line? Let's do it. He was trying to figure out a way to get Hangman Page out of a title opportunity altogether, and get in his head and say, look, you know, you're a guy that doesn't want to fail. You don't want to fail in front of these people. You're okay with just winning, but you don't want to fail. So why bother have this match? Do yourself a favor. Don't have this match. Don't fail. Just don't have the match. I love that psychological warfare he was playing on Hangman Page. Hangman Page is just standing there. He's kind of like... I forgot to mention, Matt Jackson came in the middle of the ring, and he was trying to talk smack to Hangman Page. He didn't want nothing of it, and he hauled off and punched him right in the mouth. So, that's that. Let me think, what else? But, yeah, there was psychological stuff that was taking place in this promo. I loved it. It was excellent shit. And, Hangman Page, at the end of all of it, stood up on the rope and said, look, I accept your damn challenge. We're on. Now, my question is, and I don't know where the hell this is. I didn't hear when this match was going to take place. But they didn't mention when this match is actually going to take place. This 5-on-5 elimination match. Let me see if I can see this in the results here. But they never mentioned that. That's something I'm actually missing. No, they never mention when this match is going to take place, though. So, I'm not sure when this match is taking place, guys. This is pretty fucking stupid. But yeah, it's a great matchup. I think it's going to be an excellent situation. And of course, I think Hangman Page's team is going to win. I don't think they would announce that Hangman Page is going to compete for the World Championship and then just take that away from him in this 5-on-5 elimination matchup. So, there you go on that. Alright, now starting with the, there was another segment that took place. It was actually with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, is with Alex Marvez. He asked for his reaction, to MJF's stipulations made on that. And he says, look, I don't really care what his stipulations are. No matter what it takes, I'm going to do whatever it is I got to do to face him one-on-one. He says, I don't care if I have to face Muhammad Ali again and bring him back to life from the dead, and I have to face Muhammad Ali. I'll knock his fucking head off. I don't give a shit. So, out of nowhere, we see MJF and Shawn Spears. Well, Shawn Spears appears first. He hits him with a fucking chair shot, and then he hits him in the injured arm with the chair. And MJF said, look, we're going to have a match. You and Shawn Spears, the chairman, are going to go one-on-one against each other next, I believe they said next week. Or I think it was Fyter Fest. Or, not Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen. Give me 1 second to read where that takes place. Oh, no, it's next week's show. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be Shawn Spears and Chris Jericho. A matchup where only the use of a chair is legal by Shawn Spears, but Jericho can't use it. So they're throwing kind of like a Carlito Triple H match that took place back in 2007, Unforgiven, with Vince McMahon and Triple H kind of agonizing and annoying Vince McMahon very much in their storyline that they had going on there throughout the fall of 2007. And so that's what's taking place here in this kind of matchup. So yeah, I mean, it's alright. My one big issue with this whole entire segment is where the fuck was the rest of the Inner Circle? Just like, where was the Pinnacle when Ortiz and Santana were trying to attack Tully Blanchard, or at least look like they were trying to attack Tully Blanchard? I don't understand that. That was fucking weird. Like, where are these guys? Sammy Guevara had a match by himself. Nobody was there. Where was Sammy Guevara for Chris Jericho during this segment? I couldn't understand. Maybe Ortiz and Santana, maybe we were busy. Maybe they decided to go home early or some shit. I don't know. But where was Sammy Guevara with Chris Jericho? I thought these two guys were close friends. The fuck is this shit? I mean, there should have been some kind of rescue by Sammy Guevara or someone from the Inner Circle to help Chris Jericho out so he wouldn't sustain any more punishment from Shawn Spears with the fucking chair. But there was nothing there. There was no one there to help him. He was there by himself. What the fuck is this shit? That was the one issue I have. And the Pinnacle are doing the same thing. They're not fucking protecting Tully Blanchard, a fucking elderly old man walking around backstage with two guys that want to kill him and the FTR. Where was FTR in all this? What the fuck was he doing by himself? That is one rant I will say is fucked up. You know, that's fucked up what they did there between these two factions. I don't like that whatsoever. I thought that was trash. That's the one criticism I will say was fucked up. The rest of the show, though, was fucking excellent. I don't have a problem with it. Next was Matt Hardy and Christian Cage. You already know my opinions on that. Christian won the match. Very anticlimactic ending, in my personal opinion. Took an ass whooping, hit the kill switch, and got the 1, 2, 3 at the end. Matt Hardy had the advantage over him near the end of this matchup and was hitting him with some really good maneuvers and looked like he was going to pick up the victory, and all Christian had to do was hit a fucking kill switch. This is like watching John Cena from back in the old days. What the fuck? Yeah. I didn't particularly like that ending. I thought it was anticlimactic. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, comes down to the ring. She's asked by Tony Schiavone her attitude going into this matchup next week for her first title defense against Nyla Rose. And her promo is very simple. Whether she wins or she loses, she remains relevant. Without the AEW Women's Championship, Nyla Rose don't mean shit. That's what she said. And Vicky Guerrero is no different without the Guerrero name. She is a no one. A nobody. A fucking nothing in the life of wrestling. Nobody cares. Personally, I don't particularly care for Vicky Guerrero because she has a very annoying voice and she fucking plain sucks. she could never live up to what her husband was. So Britt Baker's got it nailed. She has become the female version of Adam Cole, baby. Okay? That is what Britt Baker is. She has been taking, I guarantee you, behind closed doors, Britt Baker has been upset during her time leading up to the point where she finally got her big break. She probably was asking Adam Cole, what do I need to do to get over with these people? And he says, be more charismatic, probably. Get a little bit better in the ring. Bring a little swagger to your character. Be a little bit more confident in yourself. Show these people you don't give a fuck about anything and do whatever it's got to take to get over with these people. That's probably some of the things he said. And she probably watched him on NXT, saw what he was doing. She probably decided, hey, why don't I put a little bit of that into my character? And that's what she did. She's fucking awesome. I hated her when she first started out. I thought she was an average wrestler. She's still technically is slightly above average, but what she brings to the table through her character means a whole lot more. Because sometimes, yeah, maybe you're not the best wrestler in the world, but if you can put on a great character and come across likable or, hateable even for the heel-like character, people are going to want to see you. People are going to want you to be around. You're going to be relevant. Well, the thing is, Britt Baker has found that niche with her character. She found that swagger, that confidence in herself. And to be quite frank, she's supposed to be a heel, and yet she's so likable by the fans, they got no choice but to turn her face. They're going to turn her face. I guarantee you, after this match with Nyla Rose, she will be officially considered to be a face. She's going to beat this woman clean. She's not going to lose to Nyla Rose, and she's not going to have to cheat either. Maybe she will cheat. Maybe the cheating that she does will be like Eddie Guerrero type of cheating. I mean, I don't think she could pull off the type of antics Eddie Guerrero did. I don't think anyone could ever pull that or recreate that type of character. But regardless of all that, she probably will... She could go ahead, probably get over cheating regardless, and the fans still cheer for her of all the antics that she does in the middle of the ring. Now, if she goes ahead and she looks to cheat to get disqualified so she can retain the title, I don't think people are going to like it too much. But I honestly think people are going to enjoy seeing her do what she's got to do in that ring to beat Nyla Rose. And if that means cheating a little bit to get an upper hand because she's at a disadvantage with the height and weight, by all means, people are not going to hate her for it. She's probably going to look for a way to cheat so she can win and retain her title, but I don't think she's going to blatantly cheat in front of the referee so she can get disqualified. I don't think that's what her intentions are going to be in this matchup. But she, in my personal opinion, is like an anti-hero likable character by the fans. She's not really a heel. She is technically a face, an anti-hero. And that's what wrestling needs. Where the fuck are the anti-heroes like a Steve Austin? The Rock was an anti-hero. He wasn't a guy that was respectful or had any... He wasn't considerate or care about his opponents. He was disrespectful all the time. Yet the people fucking liked him. And if he had to, once in a blue moon, he'd cheat in the middle of a match. For example, let's say he goes up against somebody that is fucked him over 10 ways to Sunday and he just sees an opportunity, he can punch him right in the fucking balls. He might actually do something like that. It was rare, but it happened once in a blue moon. So that's my point. Where the hell are the anti-heroes? The only anti-hero I see is Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, you could put him as a face or a fucking heel any which way you like. It doesn't matter. The guy will remain to be the same. You can make him a little bit more crazier if you want as a heel. But that's about it. Speaking of Jon Moxley actually accepts the challenge from Lance Archer for a Texas Deathmatch challenge. And he is basically going to kill him. That's his attitude at this point with Lance Archer. He says, I can't get rid of this fucking guy. When is this guy going to go away? I've beaten him multiple times. I beat him with the U.S. Championship in New Japan. I've retained my title with the World Championship against him. This guy will not fucking go away. So his attitude is, I'm going to kill him in Texas. And that's basically it. So that was the whole situation with that. Next was Willie Yanta versus Sammy Guevara in a very decent, overall a very entertaining matchup between those two guys. I enjoyed the matchup. Sammy Guevara is looking spectacular. He won this matchup actually with the GTH. I would assume that is go to hell. A different way of saying go to sleep. So, he wins the matchup. He congratulates Wheeler Yanta, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I do apologize. Give me 1 second to find this. Wheeler Yanta. I believe he patted him on the back to say, hey, good match and everything, showing him a little bit of respect. And that was it. QT Marshall, he poured a drink on Tony Schiavone backstage earlier in the night. I don't know what the fuck that was about. That was a little disrespectful. But then again, he's playing a heel, so I guess it works. And that's basically that. And that's in a nutshell. Penelope Ford went one-on-one with Yaka Sakazora. Or Sakazaka. Whatever the fucking Japanese name was. This was a shit match, but Yaka Sakazaka. I'm butchering this fucking name ridiculously. But anyway, yeah. She wins the match, beats Penelope Ford. Nothing special here. If you missed it, it's not a big deal. This is a match, if you went back and watched, you could skip and not really miss anything. This was not important. The next thing after that was the main event. The main event was the coffin match, as I've mentioned once before. Darby Allin wins this match in a heartfelt matchup. We did have Scorpio Sky show up in the coffin. He tried to fucking Darby Allin opened up the coffin. Out came Scorpio Sky, and he attacked Darby Allin. And then out of nowhere, Sting shows up. No entrance music, no nothing. Just ran down the ramp, or walked down the ramp, I should say, and attacked Scorpio Sky to even out the odds. He then eventually went ahead and beat the shit out of him in the stands, which was interesting. And Scorpio Sky was acting like he was going to do something crazy off of this railing. And Sting goes ahead and swipes his leg, and he lands right on his fucking nutsack on this metal railing. I was like, holy shit, I hope he's wearing a fucking cup. That had to hurt like a motherfucker. And then he hit him with a fucking trash, the trash can. And that was pretty much that. Not too much memorable stuff occurred back there, all that much. And then all the action that took place, I mean, fucking Ethan Page removed the bottom turnbuckle and the ropes. They didn't have a third rope on the bottom, so they were using the hook to grind into the side of their mouth as if they were, trying to catch a big fish. And the hook was also used on Darby Allin on his chain to pull on his chain and choke him out, basically, which he almost did. Thankfully, the fucking chain snapped and didn't stay intact all that time, or he would have really not been in good shape, but I'm pretty certain he would eventually let go anyway. So, anyway, a lot of other things took place. They had a steel step in there. There was a Ego Edge powerbomb like the Razor's Edge with Razor Ramon off the top rope and onto the steel steps. A brutal spot by Ethan Page onto Darby Allin. This all eventually led to them going to the side of the ring. Looked like Ethan Page was going to try to perform a suplex, and that got countered. and Darby Allin managed to attack him after he countered and then hit him off the top rope with his skateboard onto his back. That shit had to fucking hurt. Hit him, and then instantly Ethan Page rolled right into the coffin, and Darby Allin pulled the lid down and closed the lid to get the win at the end of the match. After the match was over, as I mentioned earlier in the review, he goes ahead, goes to the top rope, and dives with a coffin drop, his finishing maneuver, through the coffin, and that's how the show goes off the air. And that's basically your review here, folks. This was a good show, very fun stuff, very enjoyable, very few little things to bicker or moan about, except for the Pinnacle and Inner Circle. I'm kind of getting a little concerned on what they're doing here. They're acting like they're all individuals instead of a team. So it's kind of weird. But this was a really good show. And at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great night, guys. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.